Welcome to the first episode of A Head Full of Coldplay, the podcast where melodies meet memories, and Coldplay isn't just a band, but a part of life. Each episode, we dive into the stories of fans from around the world, how they discovered Coldplay, the songs that changed their lives, and the moments when Chris, Jonny, Guy, and Will felt like more than musicians. They felt like companions. Whether you are a long time listener or just found your way to the yellow, this is a space to celebrate the joy, comfort, and connection Coldplay has brought into our lives. Joining me on this journey is my co host and fellow Coldplayer, Asha Denney from the UK. Hi, Asha.
Hi.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. But our first guest in this podcast series is a 20-year-old girl named Hannah Meissner from Germany who is currently studying teaching with subjects geography and sports. Now, these topics might be contrasting, but what remains constant in her life is her love for Coldplay. So, hi, Hannah. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. And the first question that I'm going to ask is a very cliched question, but very important one. So, how did you first come across Coldplay's music? Can you recall the, exact moment or situation when you first heard a Coldplay song?
So probably it would be the radio. I don't really know the exact moment because I was very young at that point, and I think then you can't really remember it, but I think it would be one of the popular ones like Yellow or Sky Full of Stars you would constantly hear at the radio in Germany.
Um, wh- what was the first Coldplay song or album that truly made you a fan? Was there a particular track or album that instantly resonated with you and made you want to explore more of their music?
Oh, I think it would be A Head Full of Dreams because that was the album where I realized it's more than music or more than just a band to me, because also this was like the first album where I went to the album tour. So A Head Full of Dreams was my first concert. And otherwise, it would be like the popular songs, as I said, like you would hear at the radio.
Amazing. When did you realize, just like you said, A Head Full of Dreams was a song where you felt that Coldplay as a band was something more than just a musical group. So when did you realize that Coldplay was more than just another band for you? At what point, did their music start to feel personal, comforting, or even transformative?
So, as I said, it would be the first concert. It was in 2017, so I think the tour was 2016 and 17, but my first one was 2017. And I think after that, I realized the mindset of A Head Full of Dreams really came into my life and just follow your dreams. And like also they helped me through some tough times if you have personal problems or like mental things. I think they have like a song for every situation, even if it's happy or sad. It's like it doesn't really matter. You have a song where you find your comfort in.
Song or album holds the most significance for you, and why? Is there a song or a record that feels like it was written just for you?
So again, A Head Full of Dreams, as I said, because this
Yeah.
is like first concert, and I think this will always be special, and also the meaning behind the album, because I think Chris at some point said like this was the first album where they really did what they wanted to do all the times, and I think that's also a really nice moment that you know this is like an album they really wanted to do. And I think otherwise, as I got older, maybe A Rush of Blood to the Head or Ghost Stories, because these two are more emotional and have like a lot of sad songs on them, I would say. And I think these songs really mean a lot for me if I'm sad too. So they help me a lot because like you connect with them in a way I think you don't connect with other artists maybe.
Yeah. Have you ever leaned on Coldplay's music during a challenging time in your life? Was there a moment where the music helped you process pain, grief, heartbreak, or confusion? How did it offer comfort or clarity?
I think there's not a moment that I would pick out, but just if you have a stressful time or something like that, or you're just sad, I don't know, there are many reasons that you can listen to music, and I think Coldplay would always be the band that I go to and that they would help me. And I had a lot of stress with university lately because we had a lot of exams. So that was a time where I really listened a lot to Coldplay, just that I know I can calm down and just relax a bit and then go focused again to the schoolwork. So I think that this time is like 1 month ago, so it's pretty new and fresh, but they helped me a lot.
Amazing. But are there any moments in your personal life that are closely tied to a Coldplay song? Do you associate any of their songs with any major life events or a memory? What's the story behind that connection?
Oh, there I really need to think. Maybe it must be a head full of dreams. It sounds a bit weird, but every time I hear the live version, most of the time I start to cry because it's just, even if I don't really remember that concert that much because I was still pretty young, I was 12 at that age, but like if I hear a live version of A Head Full of Dreams, it's like that tied to that moment because the band comes out and it's all the colors, the firework, and it's just like that moment really changed my life because if I wouldn't went to that concert, maybe I wouldn't even be in that fandom. So I think that's the point of it really because it's a really happy song, I would say, and like really refreshing and stuff like that. But for me, it's always a bit like with sad emotions because sometimes I think maybe I would love to go back to that time when I was younger and like have had no worries or not that much like now.
Ash, I wanted to ask you,
Um,
when did you first watch Coldplay live?
when did I first watch Coldplay live?
Yeah.
Uh, it was in 2023 in Manchester. I remember it was my GCSE results day when the tickets came out, and I remember just collecting if you know what GCSEs are, like big massive exams before you go into like college in the UK. And I remember just thinking to myself, everybody's panicking about the results, and I'm just panicking what about getting these Coldplay tickets? I remember just posting on my Instagram story saying, "You guys worried? I'm more worried about getting a Coldplay ticket." But yeah, and I got tickets for Manchester, and it was amazing. The crowd was amazing. It was my first ever concert too because I'm autistic, and I never, as a kid, I really hated like loud noises, and I always avoided concerts and festivals. So and then I was just like, if I want, because I became a Coldplay fan in 2021. So I was like, I want to see my favorite band, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it, and I did it. And ever since Coldplay, I've been going to Coldplay concerts since, and I don't regret it. So yeah.
Amazing. I mean, I feel so old right now. People started listening. You guys started listening to them like in 2016, 2017, and I've been listening to them since 2008. So I'm like, but still, I attended my first concert in 2016 when they came to India for just a one-off performance, and that was some global citizen tour they were doing, and they performed it. It was amazing. And since then, I think it was like in 2025 only in January I saw them like 4 times, and it was so amazing. And I think the next question for Hannah um, uh, was actually on that topic. When you saw them for the first time live, what was the experience like, and where and when was it? If you can describe the energy, your emotions, or any special moments from the show.
Yeah, I can totally do that. So it was in 2017 at the A Head Full of Dreams tour, and it was in Hanover, so that's pretty close to my hometown. So it wasn't even a long drive because at that tour, Coldplay did a lot of cities and not staying at one point. So yeah, it was a bit different. And I think for a Coldplay concert, you can't really describe that feeling because you go through so many emotions. You have the happy ones, the sad parts, like the more exciting, bouncing parts with, for example, Charlie Brown or something like that. And I think it's something everybody just should experience if they have the possibility to go to a concert. Like even if you get last minute tickets, go for it because it's always hard to get tickets. That's the first point. Yeah, and I think it's just a loving atmosphere and everybody is so kind because I went to many concerts in my life now, and I think Coldplay is always a bit more special and the people are a bit more kind there. And like I had in Vienna a man who was a bit bigger than me, or in Amsterdam, and he asked me if I want to go in front of him. And to be honest, at other concerts, I didn't experience that atmosphere. And I, even if you go alone, you always meet nice people and you always have someone to chat with. And I think it's always that feeling of community and like being together. And I think that's also the whole point of it.
Yeah, I when you said about that that guy going asking you to go in front of him, I remember the exact same thing happened to me at a concert in Dusseldorf. I was like, I'm like 5'2", so I was so some random person behind me was like, "You want to go in front?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure," and I got barrier that night, and I was like, "Yeah." So I get what you mean by that. So have you formed any connections or friendships through your love of Coldplay? Has being a fan opened up any meaningful interactions, whether online or in real life, any fan group conversations or shared experiences that stand out?
So there is something really special. Like I went to the Coldplay Discord because I was looking for a ticket and like I just thought that is maybe my last chance to get one because I knew the Coldplay Discord is a good fandom. I really joined late there, but um, and that guy from Germany asked me if I would be in Vienna so we could meet up before even the concert in Dublin was because I was looking for a ticket for Dublin, and he said, yeah, maybe I have one ticket because a friend of him didn't get the visa or I don't know. So we meet up in Vienna because we both were there for the Coldplay concerts and we meet and say, okay, yeah, you're a real person and I don't think you would scare me. And this guy and his friends are now going to me to every show I go this year. So we have, I think, 8 shows coming up this year in Hull 1 and 7 in Wembley. And we all bought the tickets together and we have like the accommodation together. And this is like the most special thing that could have happened because I just joined the Coldplay Discord and now I have this friendship and we always chat about like the Coldplay concerts, what song did they play at Songbook, and it's like just so wholesome, I think. And also I met a guy from Norway and he will be at Wembley too, and we met in Dublin. And I'm really excited to maybe meet him again. So, like, you always form these friendships. And even if you don't stay in contact with people, I need to say you always have someone to chat with.
Amazing. Now, you must have. I know A Head Full of Dreams is a very special album for you and a very special song for you. But now that you have heard all of their songs, which Coldplay era, resonates most with you? Was it Parachutes, A Rush of the Blood to the Head, Viva La Vida, Ghost Stories, or another? And why does it resonate with you?
So I think for me it's really hard to say because I'm that young, as you said, so I don't really experience the older eras of Coldplay personally because I don't have really the live experience or like the experience when Parachutes came out. But I think I have um as you said, the connection with A Head Full of Dreams, but now like the eras, A Rush of Blood to the Head, Parachutes, because they were more intimate and like also sometimes acoustic. I think that is something I really like now too. as I got older, I realized I like the older albums even more. But like now, the Mods era will always also be special for me because I went to so many concerts in that era. Or I met a lot of people there, and that was even the era where I really gained more experiences in the fandom because I joined Twitter also really late, so I wasn't there a lot of the times, and Mods was the era I began to get into the social networking, I think.
Amazing. Before I ask you the last question, I want to ask you what lyrics of any Coldplay song that resonates with you, that tells you, that connects with you, and you say that okay, this belongs to me.
I think it would be from Everglow, Never Give Up. I think it's really beautiful. And also from Fix You, If You Never Try, You Never Know. So that like these two are really special to me because I think they teach you so much that if you have a goal and you want to reach that, then just go for it. And even if there are some things that are in the way, if you really want to do it, I think everything is possible. So, yeah.
Amazing. Ash, for you, what are the lyrics that resonates with you?
Ooh, I mean, to me, that's an easy question because I really like the song Talk, as you know, I always tweet about it and stuff. And I think the lyrics I resonate well to Talk would have to be, oh, I've got the lyrics now because, but yeah, is there anybody listening or you want to talk? Like, I mean, I forgot the lyrics, but like, that is just like, oh yeah, feeling ignored in your talk. And I mean, because as I said, I was autistic and I always wanted to talk to someone because like people I knew, they wouldn't like not listen to me, but because they get annoyed if I talk about the same things 24/7. Like Coldplay was a massive one. My friends just saying, "Can you just talk to something? Well, say something other than Coldplay." And I just wanted to talk to someone about my special interest. So I guess Talk would definitely be the song. The Talk lyrics would definitely be the lyrics I resonate to. Yes.
Amazing. So my last question for Hannah is, now you're going to attend these shows in Hull and in Wembley. So every album has a very distinct sound to it. So which album is your currently favorite, is your current favorite, and one song that you would like to hear during that UK tour?
Okay, so I have like two songs I really would like to hear, and I think they would be songbook options, but I don't think Chris is gonna pick that songs. Like, it's always a bit the same. But yeah, I would really love to hear The Hardest Part. I think that would be amazing. And also Proof, but I think they won't play Proof, so that's like yeah, I would love to hear those songs because, as I said, I had a really stressful time with exams and stuff like that. And the hardest part, even if it's about a relationship and letting it go, I got into that song so much during that time. And also with Proof, I need to be honest, I heard that song before, but like I really got into it just like 2 weeks or like a month ago, and then I was like, oh, I really need to hear that live. Yeah, but for options, they might play also, I think Warning Sign would also be nice, and they played it on the tour before, but it's like the chances aren't that high, but and for the rotational part, I really would wish that they play Every Teardrop is a Waterfall again or Hurts Like Heaven. I would love that because I think with that rotational part with Charlie Brown and like God Put a Smile Upon Your Face, um, they have so many more options that they could play there. I mean, they played Orphans in the past, but like, come on, guys, you have way too many songs. You can do a bit more with that part. I don't want to criticize them. They know what they are doing, but like, as a fan, who attends so many concerts, it just would be nice to have a bit more changes in there. Yeah, so I really like special songs of every album. I couldn't tell just that era I really like to hear live or something like that. I think the mix between all these eras made the concert like as it is, and I think it's good as it is like that.
Amazing. So thank you so much, Hannah and Ash, for joining me for the first episode of A Head Full of Coldplay. And let me tell you, Hannah, the name of the podcast has been given by Ash. So,
Oh,
Nice.
yeah,
that's great.
yeah.
That's
So,
perfect for the first guess.
yeah. So I mean, Ash is going to be playing a very important role in this code in this podcast, and will be helping me a lot. She also has a logo made for this podcast, so she is doing the heavy work. I'm just talking; she's doing the heavy work. So thank you so much, guys, for joining, and I hope that we continue to do this for a very long time because we have a lot of people coming up and
Yeah.
we have a lot of stories to tell. So thank you so much, Anna. Thank you for giving us your time, and we hope that your concert experience is very good.
Yeah, thank you. It was very fun to do that, and I hope all the other fans have also that much fun that I had now. And yeah, thank you for listening to my story, I would say.